This is the show that goes behind the scenes of your favorite TV shows. Why were they so popular? Why did their ratings decline? What happened to some of your favorite TV characters or TV personalities? Only one truth prevails as Coley Dixon, Matthew Mayfield, and Steven Cesar dig deep to give you all the answers. This is Two Tales. Today on Two Tales, we'll explore the hit sitcom Gimme A Break. We'll give you the short version of the storyline on the series, the people, the behind the scenes of the people on Gimme A Break, and the horror that was NBC. How did the cast manage to survive 6 long seasons? We'll find out today on Two Tales, Gimme A Break. In 1981, NBC was not the place to be.
This is the NBC Television Network.
NBC, let's all be there.
More like NBC, let's renovate now. It's all thanks to Fred Silverman, who ran NBC from 1978 to 1981. NBC was in 3rd place. Oh yeah, that's right. There was only 3 networks.
We're loud, say it again. NBC, we're loud. We're in last place, loud. We're gonna fall right on our face, loud. Since Freddie came, our ratings always stayed the same. An 18 rating, a 14 share. Bet you wonder if we care. No, we're just proud to be NBC. We're loud, we're living in the past. Loud, the bottom's dropping out real fast. Loud, about boring shows, just watch us jam them up your nose. We don't care, it's all fair. NBC is always there. We're not just proud, we're also loud. We're louder than the rest. So loud, it doesn't matter, we're not the best. Loud, we're gonna screw around and run this network in the ground. The peacock's dead, so thank you, Fred. Yeah, thanks a whole lot. NBC proud as a peacock.
Anyway, Silverman decided to bring in another show in newer success sitcoms, Facts of Life and Different Strokes. Now, here's an idea. A male widower moving from New York to Glen Lawn, California with his 3 sex-obsessed daughters with a black maid who kept them all in check like his wife did. Who in the hell wanted to watch something like that? Give me a break! Oh wait, that's the name of the show. Silly me. In the house are the Kineskis. Carl, Samantha, Julie, Katie, and of course the maid, Nell Harper. Well, how would this all work out? Let's find out as we dive into season 1. Gimme A Break premiered on October 28, 1981 and was a disaster to critics. As you know, most sitcoms begin their series with a pilot. Carl Kineski was grieving over his wife Margaret.
It's not the house, Chief. I think you're upset because it's Margaret's birthday.
No, that's not it. It's because of that dumb sales lady, and because this house is full of wall marks and fluffy pillows, and because I hate flowers. They make the place look like a funeral parlor.
Katie was shoplifting.
I'm coming. Katie, are you all right?
She's okay, Chief. I just thought it'd be better to sweep this under the rug and not book her.
Book her for what?
Shoplifting.
And people were crying.
Samantha? Baby, you okay? Samantha? Samantha.
I want my mommy.
Oh, honey, shh.
What a grand start to the show.
Come on.
Fred Silverman thought he had a hit. However, a hater, Tom Shells, had this to say.
This is what he said about Gimme A Break. I wish I could sue NBC for the grievous consternation, intestinal distress, and aggravated low moaning I have suffered as a result of the Paleolithic comedy, Gimme A Break. And also he goes on to say that the 3 teenage daughters are sex obsessed, that Nell Carter is balloonish.
Come on, Tom, that wasn't that bad. In fact, Season 1 dealt with issues that people deal with in everyday life in some way, fashion, or form. Death in the family, sibling rivalries, peer pressure, you name it. They'll have her own problems. Getting a man. She will always go out with her dim-witted friend Angie. Angie's cool. It's just she's not recommended in the smarts department.
Oh, hi, Angie. Come on in.
Hi, Joni.
It's Julie.
Oh, I'm glad you changed it. It's much prettier than Joni.
I've never seen Nell so excited. Who is this guy?
That's your father, silly.
They would go out and try to get dates, but to no avail. As for Carl Kaninsky, the way he copes with the death of Margaret is constantly grounding his daughters at the slightest dismay, or even kicking them out of the house. Not to mention the yelling and the screaming.
Hi, Daddy.
Good evening, Chief Kaninsky.
I'm gonna stuff you in the toaster. I shouldn't be teaching you this kind of stuff.
Yeah, we already know it.
Get out of here, you little brat.
Mr. Kaninsky.
Oh! That's it. You're not dating any boys until after you're married.
But yet, bakes his shoes in the oven for a date. What the hell, man? Did I even forget that Carl was chief of police in Glenlawn? How else would we know about one of his policemen, also dim-witted, Ralph Simpson? Anyway, not much changed in Season 2, but we dive right into it anyway. Even though there was a lot of behind-the-scenes action going on, Season 2 continued on as scheduled. Grandpa Kaninsky, whom we were introduced to in Season 1, was a more constant role in Season 2, in every season except Season 6.
Wait a minute. Uh-oh.
Grandpa, what are you doing with those binoculars?
Just looking at her tush.
You see, he admits it. He was staring in that window.
Pop, you're a married man.
Pop? He's your father? The chief of police harboring a pervert?
Just for a week.
Well, this is scandalous. I really ought to call the mayor.
Oh, look, Mrs. Falkenberg, I'm sorry. I promise you it won't happen again.
I sincerely hope so, because I'm not one to turn the other cheek.
You don't have to. I've already seen it.
Sex maniac!
Got good legs, too. Look at her run now. All right.
Her weight loss program,
1,
Porco.
2, 3, 4.
Just a minute. I lost 4 1/4 pounds. That was only 4. Where's my other 1/4 pound?
And a quart.
All I want is what is coming to me.
Fine. Bend over and smile.
All right, group. Let's welcome a brand new Porco into the group.
Hit it!
You're a disgusting fat soul. It's hard to feed. No one can even stand the sight of you. You look like Porky Pig. You stand around and look bad. Your kitchen needs a full-time guard. But Porco will help you lose that weight. You big disgusting tub of love.
And a confrontation
The computer
with
shows that
Telephone
your
Man,
phone bill
my
is
favorite
3
scene.
months delinquent.
Your computer is mistaken.
Computers are not mistaken, Mrs. Fong.
Phone? Do I look like a phone to you?
I would know all you Orientals look alike.
My name is not Mrs. Fong.
According to the computer, it is.
I may not know the difference between a microchip and a buffalo chip, but I do know the difference between me and a Fong.
Now, wait a minute.
No, you wait a minute. First of all, you come into my house and you take out a phone that should not have been taken out. Then you have me to sit here while you call off numbers for people that don't exist. And now you want me to believe this stupid computer when it tries to tell me that I'm Chinese.
Exactly.
No way, donkey breath.
Well, I never.
But your mama and daddy did.
Wait just a minute. That guy in Hamilton Storm, the news guy, is always showing up in seasons 1 and 2. I swear, if I was ever to meet them in person back then, I would give them a huge punch in the face for being super annoying and stupid. By the way, season 2 was the reason on why Nell Carter got her first Emmy nomination. How about that? Unfortunately, she didn't get the win, but she kept going on. Season 3 got a little interesting. We were introduced to Nell's best friend Addie, who were always better than her than everything, and more popular.
I've known Nellie Ruth since childhood.
Nellie Ruth?
Yes, Nell is her nickname. Her real name is Nellie Ruth. She doesn't like it very much.
Great. Wait till we hit her with that one.
Yeah, I've been waiting for a way to get even ever since she called me Needle Nose.
That's a Phi Beta Kappa key. Oh, this. Yes.
A Phi Beta Kappa key? Oh boy, you must know everything.
Well, not everything. For instance, how did that bowling ball get in your television set?
Nell hated her for that. It even shows when Nell goes to night school and Addie ends up as her teacher. Oh, how juvenile.
Good evening, students. I'm your teacher, Dr. Wilson. Nellie Ruth, this class is not finished.
No, but you are.
Got a little spotlight hog named Joey Lawrence. I wonder why I heard that name before.
Whoa, that is serious.
Whoa, I'm still dead.
Whoa, a chick.
Whoa, you mean Pinhead Fred? Whoa, a jacuzzi. Whoa, hold it, the band.
Whoa, Casanova.
Whoa, you played for strippers?
Whoa. Talking tale from the crypt.
Oh yeah, now I remember. Whoa! Apparently he was on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson as well. Anyway, the higher-ups at Gimme A Break seen his talent and started him as a little scam artist that was homeless.
You can
Some
tell
cast
me
members
that
didn't like
now.
that move, especially Samantha.
I'm not your baby anymore. He is.
This leads into season 4. Joey Lawrence became a permanent staple in the cast and brings out the jealousy out of Samantha. How, you may ask? There's an episode where Samantha is so jealous of Joey that she helps him out with his outfit in church. Diamond Hill was an all-black church. When Nell and the whole church sees it for the first time, he's in blackface.
And now, with something especially prepared for you, is my little boy, Joey.
Away from you, no one can tell how sad it makes me. Kiss me, Tootsie, and then I do it over again.
Nell is disgusted and yanks him off the stage immediately. She finds out that Samantha did this to him and straightens her out by pointing out the racist message behind what she did to Joey.
Don't you dare start crying on me. I never thought that I would live to see the day when you would use the word nigger.
No, that's horrible. I would never say that.
Well, you might as well have. Because that's what you did by putting Joey in blackface.
Message.
You offended me and a lot of other decent black people.
Lessons learned? Be kind to one another, as Ellen would say. And jealousy is a huge sin. Now, speaking of huge, there was a huge change in season 4 as well. A change in Dolph Sweet. He's lost a lot of weight over the summer. I wonder what's his secret. Stomach cancer.
Fuck cancer!
You heard right. Dolph was diagnosed with stomach cancer over the summer and was going through chemo, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. And what was to believe the season 4 finale of Gimme A Break, Julie and Jonathan run off and get married as per Nell's accidental advice. Chief possibly hears Julie in the kitchen and this happens.
Is that Julie in there now?
Note, to be continued. We don't know if that was the season 4 finale or was there supposed to be another episode to continue from that one, meaning a part 2. However, when that episode aired, that was Stahl's final episode, because when that episode aired, he died from cancer. Season 5 started out with a tribute to Dolph Sweet, with the first episode surrounding Chief Kaninsky and the memories that were shared with the cast. In character, of course. All episode, nobody was allowed in Chief's room as respect. There was a lot of conflict about that, as the newlyweds had no privacy. Jonathan suggested to move into the Chief's room.
A lot of thought, and there's a perfectly simple solution to the problem.
What's the solution?
Why don't we move into your father's room?
Jonathan, I'm sorry.
Boy, I never expected that.
It was just a reflex.
Not only he gets slapped once, but twice.
It was just something he said.
Julie, no matter how angry you get, you should never have a reason to slap your husband's face. Now, honey, what did you say?
All I said was, why don't we move into your father's room? You slapped my face. No girl has ever slapped my face. Now that makes 2 in one day.
It ended up being a great suggestion, however, by Grandpa Kaninsky. Earlier, Joey got yelled at because he entered the Chief's room without nobody knowing. Here's the symbolism about that though. Chief and Joey always played with trains in the room. So Joey set up his new electric train set that Chief got from him before he passed away in the room.
What's everybody doing in Daddy's room?
Joey set up his electric train in here.
Who slapped him first?
What did I do wrong?
Listen, Joey. The chief is no longer with us. So you're just going to have to show him some respect.
I respect him. He played trains with me in here all the time. I never got to work him, but it was fun watching him do it.
Behind the scenes, the entire cast cried about Dolph's death, except Laurie Handler. That is until the ending of the taping of the episode. Once taping for the episode ended, she cried her eyes out and she could not be consoled.
Hiya, Nell.
Hi.
I finally got myself to clean out the chief's locker. These are his personal effects. I thought you and the family might want them.
Want a cup of coffee?
No, thanks.
Here.
Thanks. You know, it's funny, Nell. Even after all this time, every morning when I walk in the station, I keep expecting to hear him hollering at me. Simpson! But I didn't mind. The chief never yelled at a person he didn't like.
Well, then he must have loved me.
He did. By the way, not all his things are in the box. If you don't mind, I kept his bowling shoes. They don't fit. I just wanted to have something of his.
Just a minute. It's high time we stop pussyfooting around this house, never even mentioning his name. The best way to remember someone you love is to talk about them. You kids loved your father. It's not right for you not to talk about him.
Lord knows Daddy gave us a lot to talk about.
Hey, you can say that again.
Remember when you and I eloped and I had to tell Daddy we got married?
Oh, boy, do I.
I said, Daddy, Jonathan and I just got married. And he looked at me with such love. And he put his arms around me and he said, you're grounded for a year.
And then he shook my hand and said, welcome to the family, son. And you're grounded for 2 years.
Yeah, you know, that was his answer for everything. Remember when Katie was dating that college professor and I stuck up for her? Well, he grounded me for having a sister who dates older men.
Did I ever tell you about the time I missed a meeting of our Polish-American club? Well, he pulled the plug on my TV. Imagine grounding your own father.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Look, we can move the rest of your things in here after dinner, okay? Thank you, Mom. Oh, and Joey, do you think that I could play with your trains in here before they move in, please?
Sure.
Thanks.
Surprisingly enough, I'm sure Carl would approve.
Yeah. You know, Daddy did surprise us once in a while.
Yeah, you know, I remember one night when I was in high school and I told him Ricky Hamilton was taking me to a drive-in movie.
Hey, I remember that. Ricky was cute.
Yeah, he was. And, well, you guys, I couldn't believe it, but he said, great, have a good time. Well, just as we parked, 2 police cars pulled up on either side of us. Officer Murphy even brought us a pizza.
Ah, speaking of food, do you remember the time your father cooked his shoes?
Wait. How about the time he arrested Andy Gibb and his entire band?
Andy Gibb? Oh, yeah, Andy Gibb, but forget him. How about the time he arrested all of us and put us in jail?
As for the rest of season 5, ratings started to decline heavily. Yes, Nell Carter was the star of the show, but Dolph and the gang held up the show as well. When Dolph died, a huge part of the show died with it. Near the end of the season, NBC fired Laurie Handler, Kari Markuson and Laura Jill Miller from the show.
Don't look. Let it out. Let it out, baby. Let it out. Why?
A stupid move from NBC, but that was competing with The Cosby Show at the time. Season 5 did have some highlights though. For example, Julie getting pregnant.
No.
Aha! I told you couldn't pass that eye test.
No, I told you I memorized the eye chart. Pregnant.
Pregnant. You're pregnant?
Well, I'll be D-A-M-N-E-D.
We're gonna have a baby.
A baby? Oh, we're gonna have a baby. Oh, no, did you hear that?
Yes, I was here.
Joey finding the Chief's gun and accidentally shooting Nell in the foot.
Joey, what are you doing with the... Oh, my... It's okay, Joey. I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm all right.
What happened?
Oh, my God. No, it's okay. It's all right. I just got accidentally shot in the foot, but I'm all right. Joey, I'm going to be okay, baby. It's all right, honey. The gun! Joey, stop. Joey. Joey. Stop, baby. No, no.
I'm sorry.
Joey,
I
wait,
didn't mean
baby,
to shoot
baby.
you. No.
Baby, wait. The car just backfired. That's all, okay?
No. It was all my fault.
No,
Yes,
it was
all
not your
my
fault, Joey. It was both our fault. Okay, stop.
And a guy who claims he's from the planet Zoran. How do they manage to have that episode in the show like Gimme A Break? I have no idea. The biggest highlight, however, was when Jonathan made a promise to Julie. The very moment that their baby was born, they will have to move into their own place.
We are gonna make this work, aren't we?
Of course we're gonna make it work. And Julie, as soon as the baby's born, we're gonna move into our own place. Deal?
All this and more takes place in
As soon as we
season
figure out how to get
6.
the baby away from Nell.
Season 6 already started with a tearjerker. Samantha goes to college despite a huge scare of a computer glitch in her scholarship. Don't worry, y'all, she got her scholarship money. Julie and Jonathan moves to their new place.
Look, Julie, stop crying. Stop crying. Look. Now, you make sure that Simpson, sticks us up in the back of the paddy wagon, all right? Now, I want you fasten the belt around that baby, and you be careful with my baby, okay? And you drive safe. Now, get out of my house. Go ahead. Bye.
And Katie was already in San Francisco, but wanted to send Samantha off.
Listen.
Nell now realizes that she now has the house to herself, along with Grandpa Kiniski and Joey. But now the house in Glenlawn is basically empty.
Well, Chief, little girls are gone. See.
Joey's father.
Now, Nell does move to New York with Addie, however, has a problem with Joey's father.
Matthew?
He wanted to take him back to meet his brother Matthew Lawrence.
Joey, this is
How does NBC does this shit?
This is Matthew,
The fight,
your little brother.
Joey wanted to live with his Aunt Nell, but his father wasn't having it. It eventually was proven that he wasn't the father type and lets Joey and Matthew be in Nell's care. So now it's Addie, Nell, Joey, and Matthew in New York. Nell eventually gets an apartment and meets up with a familiar face who ends up getting her own talk show and comes out as gay later in life. Who is it?
New York, cold winter evenings, LA, warm sunny skies. She's ready, Hollywood's calling. Jet skis, surfing, easy as pie. It's the Rosie O'Donnell Show.
You guessed it. It's Rosie O'Donnell. The only problem Nell had, other than the constant fights with Addie, was her mother, Maybelle, moving to New York as well. Talk about a turnabout. Season 6 tried to go on a whole new adventure, but unfortunately it failed. NBC decided to pull the plug on Gimme A Break after 6 long seasons. There was rumors that there was a season 7 that was going to be in the works, but they would have to move to syndication. Where that though? Season 7 was going to focus more on Samantha's college years. Yeah, the show bowed out at the right time. But there was a lot of things that were going on with Nell Carter. For starters, she was on cocaine and other drugs throughout the whole show. She did it once during her Broadway plays, but then she became addicted to it. Sadly, it led to her in and out trips to rehab. Thankfully, she was able to recover. Despite all of this, she was still able to do the show. Nell went on and did many other shows, including Hanging with Mr. Cooper,
Irvin?
I'm sorry, Miss Moore. Lisa's lips went numb. Yeah. I was trying to revive him, you okay? All right.
Yes. You know, young love is so sweet. Now knock it off. Go put these in my office. And then I want you to go to the gym and take a cold shower.
Yes, ma'am.
Match Game, Raisin, which is the new revised version of Raisin in the Sun, and many others. She even did a commercial for diabetes. Yes, the same one that Wilford Brimley did.
Good morning. I'm Wilford Brimley, and I'd like to treat you to an ice cream, an apple pie, and diabetes. Diabetes.
Diabetes. Who thought that she died from it, though? Nell Carter, born Nell Ruth Hardy, died from heart disease, with diabetes carrying the assist. No autopsy was performed as per Nell's request in her will. Sad indeed.
What can we do for you?
But before she died, her kids that she adopted were in somebody else's care. Whose?
All right, I'll check it out.
A partner that Nell was with before she had died. Yes, she turned lesbo. She was into the cootie cat, which took everybody by surprise, by the way. You know what I'm saying? But the kids are well put in their care. So, kids are good, y'all. Kids are good. As for Gimme A Break, the show was in our living room for 6 glorious seasons. It was showing the everyday struggles that we all go through in life, right? If it was in a family situation or if it's in a one-on-one personal matter. Gimme A Break was very relatable in all our lives, and brought out the lighter side of life with each and every
Boy, that
episode.
Burt Reynolds can really act.
Unfortunately, the ratings were dropping in late season 4 and kept declining each and every season. Not to mention the constant change of the schedules NBC was making. The move to New York was the nail in the coffin. Do I think Gimme A Break should have had a proper send-off? Hell yeah! What were you thinking, NBC? Stupid dumbasses. That's why everything bad was happening to your network. I would highly recommend you watch this show. It's very funny and therapeutic too. For Two Tales, I'm ColeyD. Good night and God bless.